Another important and exciting meeting of the Rotary After Hours Club. So awesome to have you here. Hope you all got some good food. That's good. All right. We got an awesome presentation this evening for the Habitat for Humanity. Really awesome person presenting. And so let us get started. And will you please stand as you were able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. Announcements. So if you're making any announcements, anything, please come forward up here and speak as loud as you can and project your voice so they can hear over the OWL. And do we have any guests this evening? Yeah. Is that you? Hey.
All right, so we have returning guest Don RAH. If you could wave, correct me if I said your name wrong, and then tell us where you work.
I'm self-employed.
Okay, and then for our question for today, we are going to ask, what is your favorite Christmas movie character?
Ooh.
I really like Buddy the Elf. Yeah, I like Buddy the Elf.
Yeah. All right, and then we have our host family, Wade. Same thing. Okay, well, thank you for being a host family for Ida. If you could tell us, what is your favorite holiday Christmas movie character?
I like the Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah, good one.
Good one, good one.
All right, well, thank you.
And with anybody virtually?
Yes, we have Liz and Megan online.
Hello, Liz and Megan. And did anybody do something so awesome for Thanksgiving they'd like to share with anybody? For everyone? So y'all did nothing.
It's nothing that great.
Nothing so great? Okay. Football?
Some football.
Some football.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. At least Nathan wants to say something. Anniversary, James Murray, 4 years. Congratulations. Colin, 2 years, and Cassie, 1 year. Cassie's unfortunately at home sick. Happy birthday to Griffin Moe and Jennifer. I won't try to figure out what her new name is. Olga and Amy Schmitz. Happy birthday. That's right. Happy birthday. Youth committee update, Ashley. Sure.
Thanks to our wonderful members. And specifically, we have found our second host family. They are all good. So we are good with Ida for the rest of the year. She's going to ski. So if anybody would like to ski with her or go support her on race days, that would be wonderful.
Can you teach me how to ski?
And all of these exchange kids in the district are going to be either running or course marshaling at the 5K on Saturday. So if you are going to be there, you could engage with kids from all over the district, from all over the world, if you wanted to. Anything I missed? Anybody?
No.
That's what I just said.
You said it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Stuff coming up. I heard there's something big coming up this weekend. Is that you, Ashley?
Yeah.
You gotta come up here one way or the other.
Yeah, so we have the Ugly Sweater 5K this Tuesday. We'll start Saturday. Thursday, we will have tacket stuffing at the Nature Center, which is also the Metric Park Center. If you signed up for that, I think the volunteer sign up says 5:30. We can start getting in there at 4:30, so I plan to be there at 4:30. So if you can come anytime after that, Something that we're doing a little different this year is a pre-race packet pickup. So that will be at the Nature Center that night, so Thursday night, from 5:30 to 7. And then Friday, we are setting up on the course. So I know we have quite a few volunteers, but if you are bored this weekend, we can always use more hands. That just helps make things go quicker. Saturday, I know there's a lot of people helping with registration, making sure the course is good to go. We can always use a couple more course marshals or people filling in here or there, so we can always use some more help. The race is at 4:15. I think we're at 390 participants. Typically, we get about 500. So that's, I think we're right on course for that. And then Sunday morning, we are taking down the course. There will be coffee and donuts, so you can always use more help getting that done. There's a lot of people that are doing it all weekend and volunteering and working long hours, so Sunday it's especially helpful to have some people come help to take some of that burden off of our members that have been there 10 or 12-hour days for the last couple of days. So I think that's it. Any questions or anything? The committee is gonna meet after this, so stick around. Okay, thank you.
Thank you to Ashley and all the committee for all your hard work. It looks like it's gonna be a fun weekend, and people who are working so many hours, please make sure you also take care of yourself over that weekend and rest.
One thing, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's also youth exchange. All the youth exchange members from the district are coming to lacrosse this weekend. So they will be bowling, and then some are running in the race and some are volunteering. So keep an eye out for them and say hello.
Awesome. Alicia.
Hey, everyone, coming up in a little bit in after 5K, we just have the Rotary S'mores Fire Pit the first day. There will be 2 different dates, with the first one's on Sunday the 10th, and that's just at Rotary Lights. And then the next one is Salvation Army bell ringing, and that's at the Onalaska Walgreens, and then the North Side Walgreens. It'll be on Monday the 18th, so it's not for a few weeks. We still have one meeting right before that. So we'll have just a sign up going around the day, and then probably the next one too, but yeah.
What time is the bell ringing?
The bell ringing is from 4 to 8, so there's gonna be 4 different 1-hour time slots there, and like at both the s'mores and the bell ringing, we can have as many people as needed, but I just hopefully at least 2 per hour during all those events. So, right.
Is there an online sign up for that too?
What's that?
For the bell ringing?
Yes, there's online sign up for, it'll be, yeah, for both of them, the bell ringing, both locations, and then for the s'mores pit, there's 2 separate ones because of the separate dates, but.
Great, thank you. Just did that. Rotary Friendship Exchange.
Nice looking slide.
You wanna see that?
Pretty beautiful. Isn't it?
Awesome.
Come on.
There's even what do you call these things?
QR code.
QR codes, thank you. Host and visit Rotarians Youth Rotary Friendship Exchange. There is a new one out now. And let's see, it is for Brazil. So if you wish to make an exchange with Brazil, the 4640 of Parana, it is open to all 6250 Rotarians. I think I saw the cost was maybe $1,200 or $1,400 for the airport airfare or something. Was that?
Says on the side,
I can't read it that well. What does it say?
2,000 per person.
Oh, thank you. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and then we will send, oh, there it is in the bottom, thanks. They'll send a link out and so on. So speak with myself or anybody else like Ashley or Marissa. Any other announcements before I give one? Going once, twice, okay. Oh, nice shirts. You wanna hold one up? Ooh. Great, thank you. So in December, let it be known that we're having one meeting. So obviously, because Christmas the one that is closer, the fourth Tuesday of the month, we will not have a meeting. But the second Tuesday we will. And I was thinking about it and spoke to some people. I thought it would just be fun to chill, have fun and hang out. So we'll do an opening of the meeting like we normally do, Pledge of Allegiance, hit a couple things here and there, and then you're invited to wear the ugliest sweaters or holiday shirts that you have. Dress up, bring cookies, fun Christmas meal stuff that you want to share. And then we'll do that for about a half hour, and then we will have the presentation. But it's just some time to get together and some good fellowship. So spread the word, bring your family, friends, or anybody else you have. So, any questions? Awesome. So we have our presenter this evening. And we can welcome Natalie Hennigan. All right. Community Outreach Director for Habitat Humanity, Greater La Crosse Region. She manages our marketing, public engagement, and advocacy work for the group. And she loves being and connect with people about in the community about what they do and how they do it. So let us welcome Natalie.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for allowing me to speak. Pastor Phil, you said about 25 minutes or so? Or,
You have 49.
oh gosh, I won't take all of it. All right.
You give us 5 minutes for.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Well, today is Giving Tuesday, as you all probably know, and there are so many phenomenal organizations in the La Crosse area, and I know it's always so difficult to choose who you or your company or your business is going to support. I got to leave the office today with just like that good feeling of outpouring of support from so many donors and community members because of just the good vibes of Giving Tuesday. So it was nice to come here and again connect with community. Habitat quite literally could not do what we do. We could not build homes. We could not stock the restore without the partnership of our community members. So thank you for doing what you do. I'm really happy to share a little bit more about Habitat. Everybody knows Habitat for Humanity, but who here has volunteered on a Habitat job site? Anyone? Anybody shopped at the restore or donated to the restore? Yeah, okay, awesome. I'm going to talk a little bit about the context, the why behind Habitat, why we do what we do. We're living in sort of a housing affordability crisis right now. And so I'm going to set the stage for the reason behind our work. I'll describe our homeownership program, what it takes for a family to become a Habitat homeowner. And then I'll dive into some other programs that might be lesser known that I've actually put some material out on your tables so that you can learn more about some of our other resources and services that might be of interest to you or folks in your life. So I'm sorry, it's a little weirdly stretched. Oh, well, you can still read it, I hope. So Habitat, our affiliate here, was established in La Crosse in 1992, just over 30 years ago. Since that time, we've built or rehabbed over 75 homes. In those early days, when we were mostly volunteer run, it was a great year if we finished one home. So our rate of production has rapidly increased. We have our hands on about 9 houses right now. And we're actually building or rehabbing homes in all 5 counties of our service region. So we operate in La Crosse, Vernon, Monroe, and Trempealeau counties in Wisconsin, and Houston County over the river in Minnesota. Habitat is an international organization, and there are 37 affiliates just operating in the state of Wisconsin and over 1,500 in the United States. We really build on the strength of this network. None of our geographies overlap, so we get to steal ideas from each other and get to share in that learning as using that strength of our international connections. So this is our building, of course. So we're just up 16, just past Woodman's. This is a gorgeous building. It's great for what we do, although we're bursting at the seams, to be honest. This building's staff holds are about 25 staff members. It's our restore retail space and our receiving area where we accept donations, sort them, price them, etc. Come visit us. You know, sometimes folks, organizations' mission or vision can be nice phrases that just get buried on a website, but I thought I'd put them into this space today because we recently updated our mission and vision, and we do stand by what we say here. So our mission statement: to bring people together to provide and preserve affordable housing opportunities and create a community where all feel they belong. I just want to emphasize the community aspect of this and bringing people together. Like I said, we don't just, work in a vacuum, developing homes one after the other. We do this with the help and the support and the energy of our community members. Our vision statement is a Cooley region with ample quality housing options and healthy, sustainable communities for all. I'll get a little bit into that healthy and sustainable communities in a few slides. Let's skip that slide for now. You have to be familiar with this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So at the base here, we have air, water, food, and shelter. What Habitat does by providing homes, quality, safe, secure, affordable homes, we believe we're doing an essential need, or we're filling essential needs in our community. It's not superfluous, it's not frivolous to have a home, to have shelter. And from that, you build the base on which all of these other good things can come. There are lots of associations with the phrase affordable housing. People might have certain visuals, one or the other, about what that means or what it brings along with it. Affordable housing, quite simply, is housing that you can afford. It is well established that affordable housing is housing that you don't spend more than 30% of your income on. So if you're living in a home and paying a mortgage or rent, that's less than 30% of your income, you're living in affordable housing. Because when you spend more than 30% of your income on housing, it puts a pinch on all of the other essential needs. Your transportation, your childcare, your medical bills, food, not to mention things that are nice to have and bring a smile to our face, like Christmas gifts. So this is the arena in which Habitat works. We have a problem though, and that's that 1 in 8 households in Wisconsin spend more than half of their income on housing. There's numerous reasons for this. We, as a country, still haven't quite recovered from not just the pandemic, but the Great Recession and pre-recession building levels. In Wisconsin, we have a shortage of over 52,000 homes relative to the demand for those homes. And of the houses that are available, only 6% are considered entry level, that 1,000 to 1,400 square foot, 1 to 2 bedroom, a young couple, an individual can buy that house, start to build equity and then expand as their family grows or as their life situation changes. Not only is this minuscule, thinking about the housing market in general, but it's a dramatic decrease based from what we used to have. It says we had 34% of homes on the market in 1980 were entry level. In the post-World War II era, about 2/3 of homes on the market were entry level, catering to all of the veterans coming home from the war and starting their families. Large swaths of La Crosse were built during this time to cater to that need. So we're just seeing a lack of those options for low and middle income families to get into those first starter homes. Of course, with this shortage of homes matched with the increasing costs of labor and materials, our home values are rapidly increasing and they're outpacing wages. The blue line on the top is average home values from 1970 to 2021, and the black line is median household income. So we see that home values increase almost 125%, while median income barely gets to 25% growth. So this is what we're dealing with when families these days that Habitat works with can't scrape together that money for a down payment, can't really fathom what that mortgage would be. And of course, rentals are affected by this too. Rental prices are increasing rapidly in our community as well. Here in La Crosse, the median, sometimes I'd like to ask groups, like, what do you think the median home sale price is? Because maybe it's been several years since you bought a home, or who knows, but the median home sale price in La Crosse right now is about $230,000. You can see what that breaks down to. In order for that to remain less than 30% of your income, you have to earn about $43 an hour to afford that home. And that's just to pay the monthly bills. How do you scrape together that down payment? How do you get all of that together to actually get into that house to begin with? So, Habitat homeownership. Our focus is squarely on affordable homeownership opportunities. There are lots of organizations in the La Crosse region that deal with affordable rentals, that deal with homelessness. We partner and advocate alongside those organizations, but again, our focus and our core heart and soul program is on creating affordable homeownership opportunities for local families. So we build and we rehab homes. Once they're done, we get an appraisal on that house. we sell the house for the fully appraised value to a partner family utilizing a 0% interest mortgage. We also partner with other financing organizations in the community to offer down payment assistance. A lot of that money comes through us, the state and federal government. But it's that 0% interest mortgage that really makes those monthly payments affordable for local families. A lot of people do think we just give away homes, you know, and there's something to that, but that's not actually what we do. That's one of the number one misconceptions about how Habitat operates. And we select our families almost roughly on a yearly basis. We open up our applications and we select families based on numerous criteria, but we have 3 main criteria. And I'll actually just note here that when we opened up applications this past summer, we had 50 applicants for 5 Habitat homes. So, and this is a growing trend, right? The need is really, really great in our community. So the 3 top criteria that we use to select our families are the ability to pay that mortgage, their need for housing, and the willingness to partner with Habitat. So I'll just dig into what those all mean. The ability to pay an affordable mortgage. So again, utilizing that 0% interest mortgage, we can figure out what a family's monthly payment is going to be on the house that they're going to get into. We don't want to put somebody in a house that they aren't going to be able to afford based on their current income, based on their credit score. We do all of those sorts of background check things that any mortgage lender would do. And we make sure that we are matching a family with the right house that's affordable for them. We also, you know, we're looking for families that are in great need of better housing. And again, of those 50 families that applied for Habitat homes, many of them, most of them, were in pretty dire housing situations. We're talking about families with lots of kids that have mold and, you know, leaks in their home. It's way too expensive for what they're getting. It's really cramped. So kids are sleeping in the living room. I mean, really, really just kind of horrific situations a lot of families are coming in. And so we do site visits for families and we see what is the situation that they're trying to get out of. And again, might be the saddest part of the whole thing because we see a lot of families really, really suffering and wanting to get out of that housing situation that they're in. But we select the ones with the greatest need and try to match them with the right house. And then the third sort of main criteria is their willingness to partner with Habitat. And this comes through a lot of different ways. We, all of our families put in what we call sweat equity. So they are volunteering time alongside Habitat staff and volunteers to build or rehab their own home as they're able. They also can spend time volunteering at our restore or in our office to put hours towards that ultimate product of their future home. They also take home buyer classes and financial literacy classes with us and our partners like CooleyCap to make sure they know what they're getting into. I mean, I wish I had some of those classes buying a home. You know, it's really, really important to know some of this stuff to make sure you're getting into a safe situation. And again, all of that takes place over the course of maybe about a year between the time families are selected for their home and the time they get the keys and are able to move in. Any questions about our homeownership process or what's going on with housing here in La Crosse? Yeah.
What is it like to work with these families?
We just got a text from a homeowner who she sent a thank you note on Thanksgiving Day. She had just moved into her house in September, I believe, and commented on like the level of disbelief it hasn't quite gone away that she was able to, get into a home for her 2 sons and celebrate the holidays in her home. It's stuff like that that makes you like really, really appreciate what you have on a personal level, but also recognize that what you're doing is so much more than like building an economic base, allowing people to build equity. It's all of those other sort of intangibles that come along with having a house, having a home, especially for some of these families with young kids. So working alongside them, getting to know their families, getting to know their personality as they help shape the home, help build the home is really, really powerful. Yeah, thanks for asking. Okay. Back to the whole, we couldn't do this without you. Approximately 175 individual volunteers donate about 2,500 hours to every single Habitat home. That really adds up, and literally we could not do this without our core volunteers and the teams who come in to move our projects along. Habitat homeowners themselves are also some of the most successful homeowners in the nation. We have really, really low foreclosure rates. And it's because of that partnership, it's because of that learning and that relationship and that 0% interest more. I mean, that really making their house affordable, making those monthly payments affordable means they can establish themselves securely in their new home. So I wanted to share just a little bit about the Morgan family. They're pictured in front of their new house in West Salem. And Darshita, their mom, was selected to be a Habitat homeowner last year. We had this house in West Salem. It's a cute little 1950s ranch that we bought and rehabbed. So volunteers spent loads of hours and time. Our Habitat staff build day took place there. I don't know if anybody participated in our women build that also took place at this home. So lots of different hands were involved in rehabbing this home. Here are some scenes throughout its process. Darshita is a longtime La Crosse resident, and she's a nurse working in the community. I won't go into too many details, but her family has suffered some serious setbacks over the past 5-10 years and has really, really struggled to get that foothold financially speaking and start saving for a home. She went through a program called Finding Home at the Marine Credit Union Foundation, which is a phenomenal, really in-depth financial wellness I wouldn't even call it a class. It's like a 1.5 year long process you go through to really do a deep dive into your financial health and work towards that ultimate goal of buying a home. So she worked through this program, and then by the time she got out of that program, she was like, all right, I'm ready. And so she applied for a Habitat home. She was selected. They were living in like truly horrendous situation with these 4 young boys. So we were able to rehab this house, select Darshita to move in. Oh yeah, here's an image from our staff build day images. And we just were able to send our photographer out there for some family photos a couple months after they moved in. And I mean, these kids are, it's just, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, like the good vibes from this family finally having a safe and secure place to call home is really what it's all about. And she furnished a lot of her stuff from the Restore, which is like, that's my house too. It was cool to see, so. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll pause there for a second. So that's really the home ownership stuff is the heart and soul of what Habitat does. It's still our core program. And some of the other programs I'm gonna share a little bit more about are, they branch off of that, and in some way they serve our home ownership program, but they also serve our greater community. Our scope, our mission, our vision has really sort of broadened over the last few years. So providing services to homeowners long past move-in day, making sure they can stay in their homes affordably. This has become a new sort of focus for us, as well as a broader care for our natural and built environment. So we build homes, but we don't want it just to be the one-off home over there, the one-off home over there. We really want to have a more holistic approach to how we are improving our community through some sustainability programming. So I'll get into some of that here. So first, our Reclaim program. This is one of my favorite things that Habitat does. Reclaim is a free salvage and deconstruction service. So if you homeowner are about to go through a kitchen renovation, the first thing you would do is demo all of your stuff and throw it in a dumpster and send it to the landfill. And although it might be really tempting to, take a sledgehammer to your ugly cabinets that you don't like anymore, what Reclaim does is we press the pause button on that, and we say, we will come in and carefully remove all of your cabinets and your flooring and your light fixtures and your doors and your windows and your appliances, and we'll take it all carefully removed and bring it to the Restore, where we sell it at affordable prices to our community. All of the dollars that we make at the Restore go right back into Habitat's mission of building affordable homes. So it's a free service, so you're saving on demo time and disposal fees. It's a tax deductible donation of materials that you're making to Habitat. Habitat gets to make some dollars on those donations and put it back into our mission. We're not sending stuff to the landfill, and we're selling them back to our community. So we're extending the life of usable materials rather than forcing folks to buy something new. So it's like a win-win-win-win-win. Again, free service. Okay, so anytime you have a project coming up, think about the Reclaim program. The red pages on your table are all about the reclaim program. You can fill out a request form right now. Things kind of do die down in the winter. So if you have an interior project, even as small as a bathroom remodel, we really take almost anything. So call us up, consider it. You can send us some photos and we can tell you, it's probably a thumbs up. We take more stuff than people realize. So, consider reclaim a service, at your disposal. No pun intended. So the house on the left here, is an example of a recent, reclaim project. That's a house in La Crescent. The city of La Crescent actually owned that house. They were getting ready to demolish it, because for some larger development, but they were mindful of sustainability, and wanted to, salvage as much material as possible. So they brought Habitat in. I think we reclaimed about 11,000 pounds of material, including all of these windows, the porch, the appliances, the water heater, which was really, really amazing. And again, all of that stuff came back to the restore where people were able to buy it at a fraction of the cost of what you would at a big box store. The middle image is just your run-of-the-mill kitchen renovation. We're taking all of these appliances. We took the flooring that Adam is walking on right there, and then it ends up at the restore where you can get over 100 square foot of flooring for 40 bucks. And this brings us to the restore itself, which is our discount home improvement store. We have new and used materials. Community members like you can swing by and donate your materials during our open hours. We also offer free pickups for those larger items you might not be able to transport to the restore. We also have a good amount of new materials. We have lots of great partner retailers like Leon Country Floors, Walls Craft, the Marble Shop, who donate maybe excess or surplus materials to us. So we always have a nice selection of interesting things coming in from local partners like that too. And just a moment to brag, we're having our best year ever, so come in and be part of it. Each year, consistently, the last few years, we've diverted over 1 million pounds of material from the landfill. You probably know the county landfill is right next door to the restore. You have a choice. You can go to the landfill or come to the restore and donate your stuff. Oh, this was just a note to say, look at our website on the top left, it says schedule pickup, and that's where you can schedule a pickup for all of the stuff you want to donate to the restore. Our repair program, this is in the orange flyer on your table. This is a relatively new program. We established this in April. And there are two elements to the repair program. We have income eligible services for lower income families, and then we have market rate repair services. So for folks who are income eligible, roughly 30 or 80% of area median income or lower, you qualify for 0% interest short-term loans for us to do some small, mostly safety-related repairs. So say, winter's coming, you need a door fixed, you need a little bit of insulation put in, accessibility ramps installed, something like that. Maybe you have an emergency at home and you need some accessibility upgrades. Those kind of like really emergency style, really responsive needs. Our repair crews can come in and help with that. And again, provide that at an affordable monthly payment. We also, kind of to subsidize some of that work, offer market rate repair services to people with any income. And this can be any small repair project, typically under $10,000. This is we are not trying to undercut or compete with our local contractors, but what we do know from families we serve and our contractor partners is that a lot of contractors aren't taking on these smaller projects. They have they're in great demand, so they're doing these larger projects and they're scheduling out the smaller stuff maybe way down the road. So we're trying to fill in this gap and offer a little bit more flexible, responsive service for homeowners, again, of any income level. A couple example projects we've worked on in the last few months. You see this water damage on the roof, replacing basement windows, even some bathroom tiling and remodeling stuff we're working on. So again, if you have a project, an interior project you're working on this winter, call us up, get on our schedule, and we can put together an estimate for your project. Okay, and then the last sort of newer initiative I'll talk about at Habitat is our sustainability department. So about a year ago, we established a sustainability department with 2 full-time staff. And this, I should actually point out what this picture is because it's pretty cool and ties together numerous things. This is an image right outside our restore building with interpretive signage describing what you're looking at, which is a rain garden full of native plants. At our restore building, which is 100% solar powered, we have loads of sustainable landscaping techniques that essentially mean we produce 0 runoff pollution when it rains. All of the rainwater is directed towards these rain gardens, where these deep rooted plants soak up all of the water rather than having it run across our parking lot and into our storm drains and polluting our rivers. These kinds of strategies, Habitat has sort of been like under the radar promoting and working on for the last several years. And right now, as we're establishing this sustainability department, we're trying to formalize a lot of these efforts. Because as I mentioned before, we really see this as an extension of our work. We're working to better our community. We're working to make this a place where people feel like they belong, like they have a home, they have a community that they can rely on, that they can belong to. So these are just a smattering of strategies that our sustainability department has worked on, and it kind of cuts across all of our other program areas. The restore and reclaim obviously focus on landfill diversion and material reuse. On the construction side, we're making sure all of our homes go through the focus on energy program. We're building our first ever solar home in Arcadia and are working on planning a solar farm that could provide solar electricity to low-income homeowners. We're incorporating water-friendly landscaping, not only into our own property at the restore, but into our new builds. And then we're also doing education and outreach. We work with groups like the La Crosse Urban Stormwater Group to teach people like, what is stormwater pollution? What does this mean? You know, we have all these gorgeous rivers and beautiful landscape. What does it mean for us as everyday homeowners, community members to work on protecting that and ensure they stay healthy for the long run? And then looking again at our internal business practices and saying, what can we do as an organization to be as light on the land as we possibly can? All of this sort of comes together in our Renew the Block project. Has anybody heard of Renew the Block yet? Okay, yeah, of course. So Renew the Block, this will really be kicking off in 2024, but Renew the Block is a neighborhood revitalization program. It's a very collaborative program. We're working with the city of La Crosse, we're working with Cooley Region Ecoscapes, Grow La Crosse, and the school district to focus these 4 key strategies on a 2-block stretch of Avon Street on the north side. So what you're looking at is that 2-block stretch between Clinton and Sill Streets with Logan Middle School on one side and 29 homes, both owner occupied and rental on the other side, and then just south of the ball fields. Like I said, it sort of incorporates a lot of the things I've already talked about. So on these residences, we're working on critical home repairs. So taking a deep look at every single one of these homes, what does it need to really be in tip-top shape? Are there new gutters needed? Is you know, the grading going towards the home? Do we need to work on re-landscaping? Insulation issues, you know, exterior, making sure the exterior is nice and tight for the winter, those sorts of things. So we're providing for free those repairs to all of these homes on this block. Stormwater mitigation, again, so thinking about runoff pollution, we'll be installing rain gardens, native plants, both on the school property for students to learn about and in the boulevards along these residences. Edible schoolyard and community orchard focused on local food sources, local healthy food sources. And again, partnering with that school to learn about with the school teachers and administrators to create ag and environmental ed programming so that students are learning what's happening right outside my front door, what's happening in this neighborhood, and how can I better take care of it. And then the long-term education side. So within this, we're actually working on training city staff, school staff, and installing permanent signage or interpretive signage throughout the site so that people understand, what am I looking at? It looks so different, maybe than this other block on the other side of the street. How can I be part of, you know, taking some of these techniques and bringing it to my own yard? How can I be part of taking care of our natural environment? So huge project, a really big undertaking. We're super excited we're going to be kicking it off with those critical home repairs in 2024. So look for more on that soon. Yeah.
You may have mentioned this, but I just didn't hear it. How did you choose that specific stretch?
Yeah, so one, because Grow La Crosse, which is all about school ag education, we wanted to make sure we were focused on an area that had both residences and schools, and a school. Our original location was actually Lincoln Middle School, and of course, then they closed Lincoln, and I was like, okay, which is really a bummer. We hadn't done too much there yet. So, so then Logan also became a priority. We knew that, you know, a lot of the homes, we said, okay, this is a lower mid-income, they could use the support of these repairs. The school is, we have the support of the school essentially, to include some of this work on those grounds and, incorporate some of the training in their curriculum as well. Yeah. So last but not least, what can you do? Many of our programs have opportunities for volunteering. It sounds like many of you have already taken advantage of that opportunity, whether it's on the build site. You don't need to have any construction experience whatsoever. We have phenomenal teachers on staff and our core volunteers, the guys who are out there every single day. They're really, really great teachers, and we'll take anybody who's interested in giving back a little bit of time. I also say it's a great learning opportunity. If you're kind of like, I'm not sure, I would love to learn how to drywall, you know, tag along with somebody, shadow somebody on a build site with Habitat, and you get to learn some of these new skills that you can take back home. Team builds, I know Rotary is quite familiar with our team build program, where groups of individuals through a company, through an organization can come together and have the day to themselves essentially to volunteer. We also have volunteer opportunities with the reclaim program. So if you're interested in taking things apart, salvaging them, or at the restore, of course. Donate, you know, we do run on the generosity of our community, and there's many ways that you can do this. You can donate material to the restore. You can donate supplies to our construction crews. You can donate financially. Our year-end appeal is happening as we speak. So get those year-end donations in before the end of the year. And then advocate. This is one thing I didn't mention much about, but a critical element actually of our work is connecting the necessity for affordable housing to our public officials and elected leaders. So in the winter, spring, some staff and I will actually be traveling both to Madison and to DC to talk to our elected officials and tell them housing really matters, has a critical issue here in La Crosse, and making sure that this remains a priority for them. There are many ways, if you're so inclined, to email, to call, to text your elected officials and tell them housing matters. There's elections coming up next year. This is something that I think you should prioritize. And if you learn something new, or if you learn something new in the future about affordable housing, what it is, what it isn't, we always encourage people to share that with your friends and family. There's a whole lot of misconceptions about what it is that we do and what it is that needs to be done. We just encourage you to be an advocate for good, advocate for housing as best you can in our community. And I think that is all I have. Thank you. Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of questions.
Oh, great. Okay.
I'm curious about how you manage a 0% interest rate on, I'm assuming a mortgage, and you guys hold it?
Correct.
You hold the mortgage?
We do.
How many homes do you have currently under mortgage?
I don't know. 50?
Well, 50.
We can have a 0% interest mortgage because we're a nonprofit. We often sell some of our mortgages to a partner financial institution as well. Yeah, a lot of our homeowners over the last 30 years have paid off their mortgages already.
Okay, so, well, okay, you sort of bounced off my question, but if you're holding mortgage, if you are holding some mortgage, and people are paying you on a 20 or 30-year mortgage payment thing, is that right?
Correct.
And that's a lot of money. 20 houses at say $150,000. I mean, we're talking some millions of dollars. You guys have got that kind of money? So
I'm probably not the right person to ask this question to. Again, some of our financial institution partners do purchase the mortgages from us. A lot of the cost of construction too, we're not quite the same as, you know, an average developer, right? A lot of our labor costs we don't have because we have volunteers spending a lot of their time building the home. We have a lot of donated material as well, because we have phenomenal partner contractors who are willing to donate their time, often their time of installation, say, you know, electrical or plumbing, something like that. So our cost of construction can remain much lower than you would think of a normal developer building a home.
I'll make the assumption you can get by at 50 cents on the dollar. And if it's a lot of money, and I applaud that. Do you have instances where even despite the fact that you've done this wonderful thing for people, after they get in the house, they still can't make it go?
That happens very rarely. And if that happens, we encourage people to get in touch with us as soon as that they think that might become an issue. Because we are able to work with them on, you know, a different financing plan. We're able to figure out, are there other emergency resources they can tap into? Because we are connected to, again, other housing agencies and organizations in the region, we're kind of able to do that work for them. And then, you know, we've never had to foreclose on a Habitat homeowner of our own. That happens maybe at other habitats, but that's been our experience so far.
And my last question,
Yeah.
believe it or not, when you go out and you do the repair work and one thing or another, are you charging you're charging them for the work that's being done?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's at a fair,
Yep.
kind of a fair market rate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So the houses, you said you have 9 houses going right now? I think
Yeah.
it said, are any of those like round up builds, or are they mostly renovation? Like what percent is
Yeah.
renovation versus ground up?
Okay, let me think. We have 3 homes that are being rehabbed right now. We have a home in Toma that's a stick build ground up. And then we have a couple other homes that were actually floodplain. We're redeveloping them on the north side, and we're actually doing modular homes on those. So they're like stick built in a factory essentially and come to us modular. They're not mobile home, you know, there's a lot of misconception about that too. So that's another way we're actually trying to cut our costs as well, because they're, you know, we can save some dollars on that. Yeah, so this past year, we actually did numerous rehabs. I think it's about 50-50 rehab and yeah.
And how long does an average rehab take for you guys, like start to finish?
Yeah, about, it totally depends, about a year, like on average, yeah,
Does being single with no kids disqualify you?
no.
Okay, 'cause it seems like it might, like.
Yeah, no, I mean, that might come into play as our selection committee is ranking, need for housing, because sometimes having kids or a larger family, often with the rental market here, they simply don't have a big enough space, and so being able to move a family into a home might, you know, sway that a little bit.
Along the lines of Dean's questions, like, when you set the mortgage up, you set it up as a fair market value mortgage because of all the donations that occur during that home build, so they're buying that house and what the fair market value is, but it's a 0% interest, so that's how you sustain your projects by really you're gaining income. Well, they're using that income to use it to support other projects.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a flow, yeah.
Correct, yeah, so we're not property, like everything we get goes back right into our work, yeah.
The homes are sold at fair market value so
Right.
that they.
Yeah.
They're really not giving anything, they're still paying for it.
Correct.
So it's in trades.
With the restore, some of the materials you take up there, I know we've had the question before, like we've donated things to restore, like, can they really use this? Is there much you guys get that you're not able to use?
Good question. So we have a very thorough list on our website of things we won't accept to
You
begin
won't
with.
accept, okay.
Yep. So there are certain things that we might, you know, we might unfortunately say like, well, you can take this to landfill, we don't,
Yep.
or there's other organizations that might take, you know, particular item. If we get something though that, doesn't, like, just sits and doesn't sell, we used to just toss it in the dumpster and then throw it in the landfill. But we've actually kind of restructured how we do some of our sales, and we offer things for, like, we can sell a couch for 50 cents and somebody will take it because it costs us to throw it away, you know? Whatever, you know, so kind of changing some of those ways to keep things moving off the floor. And yeah, so we've actually dramatically reduced the waste that we create because of that. Anything else?
How do you go about finding these houses? Is there like a realtor on staff, or like how do they get donated to?
Every now and then somebody will donate a house, but no, we're competing with everybody else these days, yeah.
Kind of one of those foreclosure houses though, of like, door is hard to get, you know, cash.
Yes,
Get it.
true, yeah, some of those work out for us, other, like, city-owned properties sometimes will work out, so, yeah.
I just want to put in a note for the reclaim. We did that for our kitchen. And
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was great.
Yes.
It saved us so much time and helped us pay. And they were wonderful.
Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
How big is the area that you said Little Crescent all the way over to Toma, but how big?
Yeah, so Lacrosse, Vernon, Trempealeau, Monroe counties, and then Eastern County. So, yeah. I've done the math on how big it is, but it's a lot of driving on ends when we have projects on both ends. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Natalie. I think I told you when I was emailing you, our theme for the year is creating hope in the world. And what made me think of your organization and the work I've done with you guys with different families, and how much hope and smiles and love you guys bring to this world is incredible. So thank you. And with respect to what's happening this weekend, thankfully, we're ending a little early. And I know there's a big meeting afterwards, so please rise as you are able, and we will close. All the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun? So thank you and see you next time. Remember, it is going to be a party. So bring everybody you know and everybody have fun. Everybody.
Yeah.